Hi, everybody. Welcome to, good Lord, it's week 10 already. This week, I call it sexy books, but it's really books that are, well, in part, romance books. We are going to look a little bit at romance, but for the most part, we're going to look at representation as far as sexuality and gender goes. Which is funny because when I first started teaching this class, we talked, this is, 100 years ago, but we talked very much about romance. And then sort of the LGBTQ stuff was in the background, and now it's completely shifted, which is kind of interesting. All right, so um, announcements that you need to know about before you just stop watching the video and go read the content yourself. I would like everybody to read the content, but I will just do a little talk about the additional the articles, a little face to face what's in the articles talk before I end this up. But a couple of people have asked about, because there are only um, four different types of responses. There's the audiovisual, there's the just the visual, then there's the essay, uh, you know, uh, literary criticism essay, and then the tying to curriculum. So there's only plus the bi-week, but there's six modules. So that extra one is it's you can do whatever you like with it. Just remember that you also have to have something where you work with other people. So there's a little wiggle room there. And if you are going to take week 12 as your bi-week, week 12 has a specific assignment, which is to write just a couple pages about yourself as a teen reader. And this is, well, for me, I love reading that because it's fun to picture everybody, as what were you like as a teen reader or non-reader? Frankly, I've had students who are like, I never read a thing when I was that age. But it's also a really good exercise for you to sort of get in that mindset and to go back to what it was like. So if week 12 is your bye week, during the week that you're like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Well, I don't know what I'm going to choose for this week. Excuse me, make sure you write that. And you don't have to read Lizzie Skernick's a little intro to shelf discovery, but it's sort of a nice entryway into that. It sort of gets you in the mindset. So I'm loving the collaborative work, and you can collaborate as many times as you want. So feel free to do that if you like. Okay, so I'm shockingly caught up on grading other than the literary criticism, which I'm home. I'm home. So hopefully next week I'll be able to get those printed out and you'll be getting the feedback if you did the literary criticism. Thank you for your patience waiting for that. That's kind of all I've got as far as, announcements. I'm loving the discussion. The blogs look great. I put the blog links for everybody's blog into the book discussion link that's in the intro to section 2 thing. I feel like I'm very vague right now. Sorry, I just drove 5.5 hours. All right, but you're my priority. So now I'm going to just go on and talk a little bit about what we have on deck for readings. If you don't want to hear about it, you're welcome to go, and I will see you on the discussion boards. For those of you who'd like a little bit more to know what's going on, let us go to Bridget Alverson, who I just love. And this time she's writing about graphic novels, LGBTQ comics for middle grade and high school. And it's just a nice look at this. This one is a couple years old, but it's got some really good stuff in it. And then next up, we have Pride for Tweens. And this looks at, a lot of the books for tweens aren't so much romance based, but really just like identity based. And this is sort of a nice look at that. And there are some great titles here, although honestly, there's so much good stuff coming out. This is from 2019, this is 5 years ago. How did that happen? But there's new stuff coming out all the time. And then Donna Friedis has written Be Still My Heart. This one's a little older, but it is our one straight up romance thing, 2009. Good Lord. But it talks about, the idea of romance. And oh my gosh, it's huge with my high schoolers. They love romance. They tend to be reading adult romance rather than specifically YA, but there is plenty out there. Then we've got this one, You've Got a Friend in Me. This is she's a Kentucky librarian, I think. but she writes about oh, Tennessee. Okay. I knew it was one of those. I knew it was one of those places where gay kids probably don't feel as supported as they do in much of at least Massachusetts. But it's a really good article about the support that we provide. Altman also talks about this. Oh, here she is, University of Kentucky. And this is actually an academic study that she's done on school librarians serving LGBT students. So again, this is a little older, maybe 2016. Yeah. But it still resonates, and it's, it's data, which is always good. And then finally we have Weber, and this one, this is probably the last time I'm going to put this one on because it's pretty old, but it is an interesting sort of throwback. This is 2010, but it's the introduction to it's a book of books, one of those recommendation books, Gay, Lesbian, Bisexual, Transgender, and Questioning Teen Literature, A Guide to Reading Interests by Carlisle Weber. So this is, about finding books for kids who are interested in reading about identity. Oh, shoot. I meant to talk about our book, the books that we have this time around. So there's so 1284 has, I think, two books that 1285 is not even going to hear about because so many people signed up for That Was Unexpected, which is cute little rom-com. And then Check and Mate, which also cute little rom. Looks like 1284 is like super into, just the romancy piece. So 1285, you might want to look at those two titles if you are unaware of them, but they're terrific. And then Genderqueer, which is, I believe, the most challenged book in the nation. And you'll see why. There's some stuff in there, but also there's some stuff in there that's, really important. And then last night at the Telegraph Club, and somebody already posted on it, I can't remember in which section, about like, this isn't a romance at all. No, we're looking at this because of it's such a great, and there is some romance, but mostly it's a representation of what it was like in the really early pre-Stonewall, dark days of being gay. So but it is a really fascinating, I mean, I think of it mostly as historical fiction, but there's also some great representation. And then Not So Pure and Simple, this one is one that always, there's some people are like, why did I read this? And some people are like, oh my God. I love Lamar Giles, and anything he does, I'm just gonna love. And well, anyway, you don't need me to influence what you think of these books. You all have opinions of your own. All right, now I'm just blathering on and on. But that is it for week 10. And thanks for all the work that you've been doing, and I'll see you in the discussion boards. Bye-bye. Let's end this meeting. There we go.